Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. Today we're going to be looking at an awesome watch from Hamilton, one of my favorites, the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. This one with a PVD case. So in this video, we'll do a deep dive review of this timepiece. At the end, things to consider, what this watch might be best suited for, who is it best suited for, and of course, all the relevant links will be in the description down below, as well as where to purchase this watch on TeddyBaldassarre.com. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. Now, first, again, a rundown of the specs. We have a case size of 38 millimeters, thickness of 9.5 millimeters, lug width of 20 millimeters, lug to lug of 47 millimeters, water resistance of 50 meters. Movement is a manual H50, so it's an ETA 28012 base. We'll talk quite a bit about that movement in a bit. Crystal is sapphire, crown is push-pull, and price $545. But if you use promo code Khaki at checkout, you can get a free strap up to $50 with your purchase for free. So add the watch, add the strap on TeddyBaldassarre.com, full authorized dealer of Hamilton watches, full factory warranty, quick and fast fulfillment, and 9 out of every $10 that we generate goes right back into the content that we're creating. Check it out, TeddyBaldassarre.com, link in the description. Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that when looking at the range of $500, the Hamilton Khaki Field is in the running, if not at the top of the running in terms of the best mechanical watches that you're going to find. Now, the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical Collection has quite a bit of variety, as well as the Khaki Collection overall. The mechanical collection is going to appeal more to the classic military history behind the brand Hamilton, which is going to fancy some, but perhaps push some others away. But no matter what model you're going for in this $500 range, rest assured you're going to get a solid piece for the money. Now, in regards to the particular version that we're going to be looking at today, this PVD version, a bit more tactical and appealing more to the military history that this brand has. First, starting with the wearability, this remains true across all of the Khaki Field collection. This at 38 millimeters with its case size and a lug to lug at 47 millimeters and a reasonable thickness of just around 10 millimeters. Now, the first thing it's going to be felt when you have this one on the wrist is going to be the lug-to-lug distance of 47 millimeters. So that is going to make this one wear a little bit larger than that 38, closer to a 39 and maybe even a 40 millimeter, but probably a 39 if you had to put it into true estimations. That considered, this watch is going to be still wearable on a wide variety of wrists out there. The 9.5 millimeter thickness is going to be very favorable. The nail strap with this one is going to add a bit of extra thickness with that keeper on the underside. But like every Khaki watch, given its more sterile, straightforward dial design, it is going to have a ton of versatility in the world of straps. The case across the entire Khaki collection is going to be of a blasted style, no true definitive lines, and is more muted in its tone. In this model, it's muted even more, with this one being described as brown by Hamilton, but I would more classify it as a brownish slate in terms of its finish and color. In its typical PVD fashion, it is going to absorb light well, while offering a very tactical look when strapped onto the wrist. Given its military style, this watch is going to feature grilled lugs, which will make the strap swapping very easy, but do make a note of where those holes are actually sitting within the lugs at the far end of the extending lugs, so it could create some form of a gap between certain straps depending on which one you pair here. This shouldn't cause great deliberation when pairing straps, but should be at least in the conversation. Moving over to the 3 o'clock side of the case, we do have a sizable crown, which is useful considering this is a manually wound watch. At that first position, it's going to operate in that typical hand winding fashion where you can wind the movement within, and then at the farthest out point, then can adjust the time while stopping the second hand in the process, so hacking seconds here. Casting over the front of the watch, we do have a slightly domed sapphire crystal, providing a clean view of the dial elements within. Now, there is a clean transition when looking at the case finish color when looking at the dial. Very much is going to mirror the same thing and create that very seamless tactile approach across the entire watch itself. Now, the dial surface does have a bit of a shimmer with its complexion when putting it underneath the light, offering just the necessary amount of flash with a watch that is straight about the business. In terms of the layout, we have our traditional field watch style that Hamilton has truly owned, especially in this price range. Along the outside, a simple minute track with faux hour markings in a triangular format. Stepping inward, we also are going to see large numerals printed in white, and then the military time residing within that, measuring our 13 to 24 hours, with the only other printing on the dial coming at the 12 with the brand's logo. At the center, a syringe-style handset featuring faux loom within the hour and the minute hand and the pointed tip of that second hand, and a large lollipop counterweight on the flip side. And speaking of the flip side, on the back of this watch, we have a simple screw down case back featuring a bit of an engraved logo for Hamilton, housing the ETA 28012 movement base within, which then Hamilton will rework as the H50. So this movement is going to be working off that ETA base, which is going to be a very traditional Swiss-made mechanical hand-wound movement, and operating it in a way that will allow it to get that 80-hour power reserve. So how this is happening, it's taking that 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, dropping it down to 3 hertz at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and allowing the maximization of that mainspring and allowing this one to have that nice healthy power reserve. This power reserve is a huge feature when looking at the area of manual wound watches, and I think is a huge selling point for this timepiece overall. One casualty of this modification to the movement is going to be the regulator pins. So if you're going to be doing it yourself, you're going to actually have to remove the entire balance. But these movements are typically running with decent spec out of the box and should provide great, regular, reliable wear. This movement is, again, operating at 21,600 vibrations per hour, 3 hertz, does feature hacking and hand winding. So hacking, stopping that second hand when pulling out the crown to the farthest position. And again, power reserve of 80 hours. Now, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, I wasted no time in basically saying that this is going to be a fantastic watch for the money of around $500. Now, the Khaki Field versus the Khaki Automatic, that really is going to come down to personal preference. Do you like the traditional, more tactical style and military history behind the brand Hamilton? If that's the case, the mechanical is going to make a lot more sense. If you want more of the modern flair of the automatic with that elevated 100 meters of water resistance, that's going to be the reason for you wanting to look in that collection. But these timepieces are pretty straightforward. They're not trying to wow you in any way, but you have to consider what these watches were for back in the day when Hamilton was really providing field-oriented watches. They needed to be reliable, they needed to be legible, and with the traditional hand-winding movement inside here with that lengthy power reserve, this is easily one of the best mechanical Swiss-made watches that you're going to find for the price. All right, guys, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, it was helpful for you, thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That is a big help. But also, if you are in the market for this watch, link in the description down below to TeddyBaldassarre.com, full authorized dealer of Hamilton watches. Check it out in the link in the description. Full authorized dealer, full factory warranty, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer service. Also offer price match. So if you see this watch or any other watch available at another authorized dealer for less, fill out the form on the product page and we'll reach out to you. And finally, 9 out of every $10 that we generate from our store goes right back into the content that we're creating, fostering a new generation of watch enthusiasts in the process. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.